It's the first round of the Texas high school football playoffs with 352 win or go home games scattered across the state. What kind of psychopath would pick all 352 of them? These are the picks. Welcome into the picks, your guide to Texas high school football playoffs. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy holidays, folks. The Texas high school football playoffs are upon us. Truly a singular sports experience across the globe with 352 playoff games this weekend. And do you guys see this too? Look at that. My picks are scrolling at the bottom of the screen. That's right, I am picking all 352 UIL Texas high school football playoff games this weekend. Perhaps foolishly, but I'm going to do it for two reasons. One, I'm a glutton for punishment. Two, so you can't yell at me for not picking your game. That's right, we're picking every single game this week. I'm either going to mention it out loud or it is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Big games everywhere you look. We start in Shenandoah. 7 o'clock Friday night at Woodforest Bank Stadium in Shenandoah. It is a 6A Division I bi-district matchup between the Spring Lions and the Woodlands Highlanders. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number one, Bishop becomes king. Let's talk about Bishop Davenport, the quarterback for Spring, who is one of my very favorite players in the state this year. The Lions QB is nearing 3,000 yards passing. He's also Spring's leading rusher. This guy does a little bit of everything, and what I like most about him is he takes care of the football. When he has the ball, it is usually pretty darn safe. And the dual threat aspect could be a problem for this Woodlands defense because they've had trouble containing dual threat quarterbacks. Just a couple of weeks ago against Conroe, Clayton Garlock went for more than 560 yards of total offense on them. Yikes. And Bishop Davenport could feast against this Highlanders defense if they're not ready. So, can the Woodlands defense contain Bishop Davenport, or will Bishop become king? Key number two, Matower on the move. On the other side for the Woodlands, their quarterback, sophomore Mabry Matower, has really impressed me. I think this guy is a star in the making, and when you watch him, what impresses me most is that he's not necessarily a runner, but he has great mobility in the sense that he can extend the play outside the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and let his receivers get open, usually hitting them in stride. Guys like Ben Ferguson in that deep receiving core for the Woodlands. And I think that's going to be the key for Spring, is to keep him contained, not allow him to extend plays and allow the receivers to get away from the secondary. So, can Spring contain Mabry Matower, or will he get outside the pocket and wreak havoc? And key number three, turn it up. So, we're into the playoffs, right? Everyone faces the same stakes this week. It is win, and you're moving on to the next round. Lose, and you're blowing up basketballs on Monday, right? Everyone knows, and so the intensity is going to be a little bit higher in this game than normal. You add into the fact that, look, it's been a minute since either one of these teams, Spring or the Woodlands, has really been challenged, really faced a team, in my opinion, in their weight class. For Spring, it probably goes back to week 6 when they lost to Spring Westfield. It's probably the last time they played a truly excellent football team. For the Woodlands, it may be back in week 4 when they played Katy. That may be the last time they played a truly excellent football team. Well, now, both teams are playing a truly excellent football team. So what happens when that intensity gets turned up? Who handles that pressure the best? Who am I picking? I'm going with Spring. The Lions get the nod here on the strength of the quarterback play with Bishop Davenport. I think they have the more complete defense, and I think that they're ready for a moment like this, going on the road to a very tough place to play in Woodforest Bank Stadium, but I think they're able to get the win by getting a couple of turnovers and forcing the hand of this Woodlands offense. Now, I do think that Mabry Matower is capable of taking over this game. I think this kid is a star. The super sophomore has been fantastic, but I got to see something from the Woodlands defense, especially against a dual threat dynamo like Bishop Davenport. I think this game is close, pretty much a coin flip, but I think Spring gets the win. Give me the Lions. 7 o'clock Friday night at Vernon Newsom Stadium in Mansfield. It's a 5A Division I showdown between the Mansfield Summit Jaguars and the Azel Hornets. Fantastic first-round matchup in this one. Of course, Summit is no stranger to playoff success. Remember, they won Region 1 last year, storming from 4th place all the way to the state semifinals, and they've got a lot of those key pieces back, including their quarterback David Hopkins and running back Orlando Scales. Their defense with Ahmad Moses has been very good as well. That defense is going to need to be good because this Azel team can score. Quarterback Quarterback Chris Lee has been fantastic. Running back Mason Weibel is a star. This is an offense that's really strong, but the defense leaves a little something to be desired, and that's where I think the difference is in this game. I think Summit's defense is a little bit more trustworthy, especially at home. I think the Jaguars get the win. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Wildcat Stadium in Splendora. It is a 4A Division II bi-district matchup between the Belleville Brahmas and the Orangefield Bobcats. I like this Orangefield team. I think that Josh Smalley's done an outstanding job of kind of building this team into a winner. They got a signature win over Silsbee, and I also think that slot T offense with Cameron Dishler is really leading the way. I like the way this team operates. The defense has been pretty good, and they're going to need it because this Belleville team, goodness gracious. Okay, they've got a 1-2 punch that maybe nobody in the state has in Robert Briggs and Richard Reese. These two guys have combined for 52 total touchdowns on the year. Yeah, it's serious business. And oh, by the way, the defense is giving up fewer than 9 points per game. That's the challenge for this Orangefield team. I think that they can keep it close if the defense can come up with a couple big plays. But overall, I think the star power for Belleville may be too much. Give me the Brahmas. 7 o'clock Friday night at Douglas Stadium in Muleshoe. It is a 3A Division II showdown between the Abernathy Antelopes and the Freona Chieftains. We knew that the District 3 versus 4 bi-district matchups were going to be good, and this might be the best one of the bunch, which is saying something considering we've also got Idalou and Canadian this week, so all right. This is going to be a fantastic matchup. Abernathy quarterback Jess Hull has been fantastic, but the defense has to reestablish itself after a couple of rough weeks, especially their loss to Lubbock Roosevelt, and they need to get it together in a hurry because this Freona offense, especially on the ground with Jacob Bautista and Mario Bautista, is really hard to stop. That's going to be what's really fun about this matchup. I actually think this game could be a bit of a shootout if both offenses really get into rhythm. In the end, I'm going to lean slightly towards Abernathy, but keep an eye on this one. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Davenport High School Stadium in San Antonio. It's a 2A Division I bi-district matchup between Johnson City and Flatonia, and these are two teams that are pretty reliant on their dual-threat quarterbacks. For Johnson City, they're really reliant on Cade Boyer. This is a guy who's either thrown the ball or run the ball on 60% of their plays this season. They really rely on this dual-threat quarterback, and he's, for the most part, been pretty good. Going up against Fidel Venegas with this Flatonia attack, I think that Flatonia is one of those teams that's better than their 4-4 record indicates, and they are a dangerous team for this Johnson City team. But in the end, I do think that the Johnson City defense is the difference. I think they're able to make 1 or 2 extra stops. Give me JC. And 7:30 p.m. Friday night in Colorado City. It is a 1A Division I bi-district matchup between Sterling City and Hermleigh. So in 6-man football, 1A, there's only 2 teams from each district that make the playoffs, right? So it's only a 32-team bracket. So we get to the fireworks factory pretty quick, and this is a massive matchup in the first round of the playoffs. Hermleigh, the Cardinals, coming off of their first undefeated regular season since the 70s. They have been unbelievable, especially thanks in large part to the Digby's. Jonathan and Stetson, they are the stars of this team, and they have an opportunity to guide them to an even greater season. They draw Sterling City, of course, the defending state champs, who are in this position because they lost to Westbrook in district play, so they are the 2nd seed out of their own district. Now they take on a 10-0 Hermleigh team. A big question in this one is whether or not the Sterling City defense is going to be able to come up with big plays led by Damian Calderon. That is the real question in this one. Look, this is as good of a game in the state as you're going to find in the first round of the playoffs. I think I'd lean towards a team with the championship pedigree. That's Sterling City. Give me the Eagles. But those are far from the only big games in the first round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Remember, I'm either going to mention your game out loud or they're scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Let's get to the lightning round. In 6A Division I, I like Louisville to take down McKinney. Boyd, give me Atascocita over Deer Park. And big game in Central Texas, I like Round Rock over Austin Bowie. 6A Division II now, I like Flower Mound Marcus over Prosper. And tough game to call here, but I think it's #Maximum Bears. Give me Bridgeland over Klein Collins. Edinburgh Vela beats San Benito in a big game in the Rio Grande Valley. And give me Clear Falls over Pearland Dawson. 5A Division I now. Corpus Christi Flower Bluff gets past McAllen in a row. I like Fort Bend Hightower in a close one over Port Arthur Memorial. And give me Longview to get by Magnolia. 5A Division II now. Clint Horizon beats El Paso Burgess. And I like Ennis over Denison. Fort Bend Marshall beats Barbers Hill, but keep an eye on that one. And I like Bernie Champion over Mercedes. 4A Division I now. Give me Kennedale over Brownwood. And Springtown gets by Canyon. Kilgore beats Huffman Hargrave. And I'm going with Bernie over Fisher Canyon Lake. 4A Division II now, I like Pleasant Grove over Canton. Give me Geronimo Navarro over Smithville. And Salina takes down Mineral Wells. Big games in 3A Division I, I like Tatum over Pottsboro, and I like Pilot Point in a close one over Early. Hallettsville takes down Cameron Yo, and Lago Vista beats Universal City Randolph. 3A Division II now, I'm going with Dangerfield to take down Harmony. I'm going to go with East Bernard to beat Lexington, and I like Leonard to beat Edgewood. 2A Division I now, I like Hawley over San Saba. Give me Bosqueville in a very close one over Marlin, and I like Beckville to stay perfect with a win over Joaquin. In 2A Division II, I like Santo over Petrolia, and give me Wellington over Vega. I like Chilton over Sims Bowie, and in one of the games of the week in By District, I like Christoval in a close one over Burton. Big-time action in six-man football in 1A Division I, I like Blum over Coolidge, and Spring Lake Earth beats Happy. And in 1A Division II, I like Cherokee to get by Blanket, and in a matchup of 10-0 versus 9-1, I like Jayton over Benjamin. And those are the picks. I did it. I picked all 352 UIL Texas High School football games. I either mentioned it out loud or was scrolling at the bottom of my screen, so if you missed it, just rewind the video, and then you can tell me what am I wrong about. Leave comments down below. Don't forget that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/DaveCampbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/DaveCampbells. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com, where you can find complete coverage of the 2021 UIL Texas High School Football Playoffs at TexasFootball.com/playoffs. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the first round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. We'll see you.